Hi folks, so yes, it's all a bit dark and I'm in the blue. It's like I'm all in blue. Anyway, so I decided wanted to do a little experiment. Um, as I say, even though I've followed this subject for most of my life, one way or another, I've always been into it ever since I was a kid. And we're talking about the paranormal. So, UFOs, ghosts, anything to do with the paranormal has just fascinated the heck out of me ever since I was a kid. With all that said, I decided I wanted to try this as an experiment, as a sort of scientific, although I haven't got any scientific equipment with me and I'm not a scientist, but still try to go with it from a scientific-ish point of view. I made myself a Ouija board. Now, I know a lot of people might be going, oh my god, what are you doing? Do you know what? I don't really believe in Ouija boards necessarily and all that sort of carry on. I just find it really, really difficult. It's not very scientific. Like I said before, I've watched countless and I've studied the subject to some degree and I've read books on it and I've watched countless documentaries and all the rest of it and this, that and the other. But ultimately, like I said, I've never experienced anything. Okay, that doesn't mean anything necessarily, you know what I mean? Thousands of people have, maybe more. But the thing is that I'm one of those sort of people that is kind of like seeing is believing kind of thing or whatever. I do believe that something happens, you know what I mean? People experience something, I reckon. I just think we're interpreting it in the wrong way. I think people are putting their cultural experiences, their cultural background, the sort of, that people interpret it in their own way, sort of thing. You know what I mean? In the context of whatever their psychological makeup is, and so on and so forth. I think people experience real phenomena at times, I reckon. There just seems to me that there's way too much stuff out there that suggests that it's all made up or it's all just in people's imagination. So I reckon that there's definitely something, some sort of real phenomena, but exactly what that is, I don't really know. And like I said, I think that's open to interpretation. I don't completely disbelieve it, and of course I am a human being at the end of the day, and at the end of the day I'm frightened of the dark as the next person, sort of thing. That sort of primitive part of our brain that'll kick in when something a little bit, kind of weird or unexplained happens, whatever. So don't get me wrong, I'm not sat here thinking like, it's all complete and utter nonsense necessarily. I guess there's some validity to it, but I guess I'm a skeptic at the end of the day. I'm a skeptic in the sense that I don't necessarily buy into the fact that it's spirits or any other kind of biblical connotation that you want to put to it necessarily. Now, of course, I could be completely wrong. Do you know what I mean? As I say, if somebody comes up with some absolute concrete 100% indisputable proof and evidence that it's demons or it's flipping spirits or whatever and this, that and the other, then hey, flipping heck, do you know what I mean? I'll be the first one to be going like, oh my god, I was completely wrong. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, let's now try and see what happens. I'm gonna try this. It's a homemade thing, so it's not like it's not like a proper Ouija board in that sense, you know what I mean? And the planchette is a complete... I don't know if it'll work all that well. Again, I just made it myself. It's not, Anyway, let's try it anyway. And like I say, you could argue, well, maybe I should have done this last night when it was All Hallows Eve. It didn't occur to me then, for some reason, whatever reason. It's only occurred to me tonight for some reason. and you know, it's still early. It's only just 5:45 in the evening now, sort of thing. So you could argue, well, maybe you should wait till the early hours. And maybe you're right. You know, they're all valid, very good, valid points. But I just want to give it a try anyway. So okay, so I'm lightly touching this thing, and it doesn't move that very well either because, like I say, it's not a proper planchette, and I don't know how to. I've been trying to work out how to get it to move more freely, but anyway, let's just work with what we've got, I suppose. Right, okay. So, is there any ghosts or spirits that wish to communicate? Please indicate with any. Well, if it's a no, obviously there's not going to be anybody there. But please try to communicate if there are any spirits there or whatever. Is there anything there? Any spirits? Any ghosts? So straight off the bat, let me tell you, and this is my personal, honest, genuine feeling on it right now, because like I said, I mean, the thing is that I also think this is quite a psychological thing. They reckon it's also to do with psychology, but I'm telling you now, and I'm not kidding, yeah, and I swear to God I'm not making this. I'm the last person that will make something up about this, believe me. But it does feel like it wants to move, and I swear to God I am not deliberately moving this. I'm not. I swear to God I'm not. It is definitely moving, and it feels like it's moving by its own volition. I swear to God, I am not consciously aware of myself doing this. Right, okay, so where's it going now? No, it's still moving, it's just moving forward at the moment. So like I said, it does. I'm not. You see, the thing is, it could be just a completely unconscious thing. Do you know what I mean? I could be moving it unconsciously. I mean, but I swear to God, that feels. I'm not. I swear to God. Honestly, I know loads of people. I know, I've been on YouTube long enough to know, and I've watched enough of these things to know that people out there will be saying like, "Oh, you're pushing it. Oh, it's you. You're just making it. Oh, it's fake." And fair enough. They're fair enough comments. I'd probably feel and think the same way on some of them. Do you know what I mean? But I swear now, and as I say, I completely accept the fact that it's quite possibly that I'm doing it completely subconsciously. Do you know what I mean? That I'm not really aware of the fact that it's me that's really making it move. And that's quite possible, and I'd probably buy into that much more easily than I would if it was like, oh, it's some sort of spirit, you know what I mean? To be perfectly honest, I would more lean towards the fact that it's probably me being, subconsciously moving it. That's what I reckon. But that said, like I said, I'm not kidding you. I honestly didn't expect that, and it did feel like it was moving by its own volition. I was just resting my hand on it, and I swear it felt as if it, but like I said, it didn't go anywhere. It didn't it just wanted to move forward. So it could be just, there's that micro muscle movement thing, isn't there, that I've heard spoke about before. Okay, let's just try again, see what we get, if anything. Okay, so if there are any spirits that are trying to communicate, could you please let me know by indicating yes, or could you indicate by perhaps spelling out your name? So if there's any spirits or any ghost or whatever is trying to communicate, can you please indicate using the planchette? No, you see, no, it doesn't seem to be that same movement at the moment. Nothing seems to be happening now. Is there anybody there? Anybody want to communicate? Trying to keep my hand on it as lightly as possible. And bear in mind, like I say, this isn't a proper planchette, it's just a bit pieces of cardboard. And like I say, it doesn't slide that well. It doesn't slide too difficult with too much difficulty either. But sorry, I'm trying to keep myself as still as possible as well, which is a bit difficult obviously while I'm talking. Hello? Any spirits there? Anyone want to communicate? Please come forward now. Please move the planchette and speak. Okay. Right. Right this minute, nothing seems to be happening. Funny enough, and like I said, when we first started that, and I did it for the first one. It was like, I swear to God, it really felt as if it was moving. You know what I mean? I'm not kidding. But now, is there anybody or any spirits wish to communicate? Would you please move the planchette? Hello? Any spirits, ghosts wish to communicate? Right, okay. I'm starting to get rather bored of this already, to be quite honest. I'll tell you one thing, it'd be really freaky if that thing moved on its own right now. Then I think then I would be like, oh my God, you know what I mean? It'd be like, oh shoot. I think you'd see me leave this room rather quickly. Oh dear. Anyway, right. So, alright guys, I'm going to leave it there for now. This was just a little experiment. This was just a little bit of fun, bit of, you know, just trying something new, trying something different. Going to be interesting to see the response I get on this one, to be quite honest. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to try it once more, just one more try. So let's see what happens. Is there any spirits or anything that wants to communicate? Please let me know by using the planchette. I swear I can feel that slight movement. It's not as strong as it was before though. Okay, it does feel like it. I swear to God it's not me, unless I'm doing it subconsciously, which is possible. Please spell out your name. Have you got enough energy to be able to move the planchette? Whoa. What the heck? Hello? Is there anybody there? Would you like to please communicate using the Ouija board? As you can see guys, I'm barely touching it now. It's not really, wait. I need to make better contact with it because, as you can see, I am leaning on it because the front of the thing lifts up. no idea what's going on here. Please, can you try and communicate? Can you be a bit more, can you use, or use my energy even? Hello? Can you move the planchette, please? I know it's not the best planchette in the world, but I have no idea whether this is me or not now, to be quite honest. It's really difficult to tell. I mean, initially it feels, I literally am not deliberately trying to move it. And then, like just before, it really did feel like there was like a sense of like it was trying to move on its own. Like I wasn't deliberately trying to move it. But I don't know whether it is a subconscious thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm starting to lean towards more the fact that this is some sort of psychological. There's a psychological component here and a subconscious. Well, so maybe there's a part of me really wants this to be true. Do you know what I mean? There's a part of me that's like desperate to have something that's, you know, to confirm that it's some kind of supernatural, I don't know, afterlife kind of thing or whatever. And I guess that's a normal human trait for everybody, I guess, and maybe more so for other people than others. But I think it's a basic human need to want to know that there's something afterwards, you know what I mean, or whatever. I'm not sure exactly. But you know, so maybe on a subconscious level there's a part of me that just really wants this to be true, and so it's like confirmation bias, if you like. It's like a confirmation bias. It's like there's a part of my mind that's desperately searching for sort of like evidence that there is something supernatural and all the rest of it, and so therefore you know, it's like my mind's, you know, on some level is trying to produce that evidence, but not on a conscious level, so that, you know, obviously I'm not like deliberately trying to fake it or whatever, because then that defeats the object of the part of my mind wanting it to be true and to be real. So yeah. I'm starting to wonder, actually. I'm starting to really wonder, all of these things, ghost adventures and all the rest of it. I know we see physical phenomena, but like I said, my pet theory is that I think that perhaps people interact with an energy that's out there that we don't fully understand, like dark energy, if you like, or dark matter or whatever, that we're interacting with on some sort of subconscious level that we're not aware of. And because of those deep desires and needs that we don't necessarily in everyday conversation talk about or whatever or express, that we tap into that energy, and that energy creates, or we create, if you like, what we want to see. Do you know what I mean? Now, again, it's a very loose sort of generalized theory of my own little pet theory as to what, you know, the supernatural or paranormal activity stuff's all about. That's my personal take on it anyway, because like I say, to be perfectly honest with you, like I said, it did feel, you know, I swear it felt as if it wanted to move on its own, but I was wondering, I was thinking to myself, do you know what, I'm not so sure this isn't maybe just some sort of psychological thing where I'm just desperate for some sort of confirmation that this is real. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. And as I said, I've never really been a big fan of the Ouija board. Not because of any supernatural thing, but just because it's not very scientific. Do you know what I mean? Like I've just explained with the micro muscle thing and the possible subconscious wanting something to be real. Do you know what I mean? So it's not very scientific. It's like, you know, if the damn thing moved on its own, but even then, you know, you see, the thing is, like I said, that's what I'm saying. If your belief or your need to want to believe in something afterwards or whatever is so strong, and you happen to, and maybe there are pockets of these energies knocking about, maybe that's why some parts of the world are more haunted or have more paranormal activity than others, perhaps. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, as I said, that's just my personal take on it. And as I've always said, opinions are like arseholes, we've all got one. So, you know, the thing is that, who knows? I don't really know for certain. But anyway, sorry, I was getting really super interested in that then, and that's why I went into all that then, because I was finding that really fascinating, the fact that, like, I really felt as if the thing was moving, but then I started to think to myself, wait a minute, I think this is just an unconscious desire for something to be real, and you can make it real, in a sense. Oh man, that's really got me thinking. That's really got me thinking. Yeah, because like, if you desire something strong enough, the human mind and the human brain, you know, they still don't fully understand it. You know what I mean? They still don't fully know its potentials and so on. And of course, there's a lot of anecdotal stuff, and there's, you know, look into various different. Well, I was going to say various different religions, but maybe some of them are linked in a way, but also like with the Buddhist tradition, where the Buddhists believe that you can train your mind to do some amazing things and what have you, and blah blah blah. So yeah, I don't know. It's fascinating all the same. Absolutely fascinating. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it here because this has been a long video, and I don't know how much you guys are going to want to watch this, because it's, you know, I'm in the dark and I don't know how well you can see, and I don't know how well this is going to come out. Right, I'll leave it there for now. Hope you enjoyed this mini little paranormal investigation, and I might do a couple more of these yet, because this is a fascinating, super fascinating subject. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now, guys, and I shall see you soon. Catch you guys later. Sorry it's really dark, but hopefully it'll come out alright. See you guys later. Bye for now.